This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. I'm an entertainer. I'm a piano player, baby. The one and only Eight Father on the piano. Wow! So, I was thinking today, I was telling my wife, we're having breakfast and stuff. I'm like, remember, I did an audition. Okay, it was for the Billy Joel Broadway show Moving Out. Okay, and I was auditioning for the part of the piano man, the main character. Okay, so you had to play 3 songs. You had to play Moving Out. You had to play just the beginning, the prelude of Angry Young Man, and you had to play a little excerpt of scenes from an Italian restaurant. So I'll give you a little just excerpt. Here's Moving Out, right? Then they wanted me to do a little excerpt of Angry Young Man. I'll do that real quick. So a little, I could go on and on. I don't want to waste too much time because there's a lot of conversation I want to have with my family. Little quick excerpt of scenes from the Italian restaurant. Very quick. So I could go on and on. I love Billy Joel. He's the man. The guy who was the director of the audition stood up out of his seat, actually walked over to me, shook my hand, said, "Brother, you are so talented." He goes, "You're a finalist." He goes, "I just advanced you to the second level." There was 3 levels. So I made it from the first to the second. So the second level, I did the same great job. The same guy came up to me and he said, "Look, man, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you." Now, this was the second audition. He goes, "You are a talented guy. And honestly, you deserve this part. It breaks my heart to tell you that Billy Joel already picked the finalist. It's picked." So I'm saying, okay. I'm like, so Billy Joel picked somebody who auditioned here, right? At the Broadway Union event. He says, no. Billy Joel was at some bar in Long Island. And he saw some guy play, some Irish guy. The guy was good. He was a talented guy. But the point is, Billy Joel picked somebody that wasn't even in the auditions. He wasn't even in the moving out auditions. So I just said that to the guy, so why do you even have these auditions? If Billy Joel is just going to pick a random person in some bar, right? Like, he goes, well, it's union rules. Okay, it's union rules. We have to have these auditions for show. Okay. I kind of feel that there's a connection between what they do, the unions at Broadway, and what the SEC does, and what the government does. The government, in my opinion, tries to act like the friend of the retail investor. They do, and it actually tricks a lot of apes. Because a lot of apes tell me, like I remember even Doug Post at one time, he's an ape, and he used to always email me, Rich, you got to calm down with Gary Gensler. He's doing a phenomenal job. And he changed his stance a little bit since then. But he used to always defend Gary Gensler to me. We would have like kind of back and forth email arguments, right? I'm like, Gary Gensler sucks, my balls. Basically, he doesn't do anything right. He's under the table. He doesn't care about the retail investor. But Doug Post was like, yes, he does. Give him time. He's fighting. It's a slow process. Yeah, it's a slow process. So is when I take a shit. It's a slow process too. Okay, because it's, I got a small little ass cheeks, and the big porterhouse steak takes time to come out. But anyway, let's put that aside, okay? This is the point. The point is Gary Gensler could give two shits about the retail investor. The Department of Justice could give two shits about the retail investor. FINRA doesn't care. Nobody cares. I'll give you all the proof, okay? So remember they had that NSCC rule. It was going to stop the naked shorting. Yeah, that didn't work, okay? All right. Now they're having a vote that the hedge funds got to disclose everything. They got to disclose nothing. They're going to disclose nothing. Nothing is changing. Okay. It's all the same bullshit. It's all the same dark pools, Citadel Connect. Everything is hidden. Everything is a secret. Oh, give it time, my father. Yeah, give it time. I think they do all of these things kind of the same reason why Broadway has these, auditions. It's all for show. Do you see what I'm trying to say? They come out and they say, guess what? We're having an investigation. The Department of Justice is looking into the hedge funds and all the illegal activity. You know why they do that? It's kind of like to kind of take a big, gigantic, like a barrel of water and throw it on the fire. They want to just calm things down. They want to cool it off. So now everybody's calm. They're like, oh, they're investigating. Yeah, and I see all these YouTubers. That's why, did you see my original reaction to the Department of Justice investigation? I laughed at it. I said, it's a waste of time. But I see all these other YouTubers saying, oh, this is great news. They're going to help the retail investors, right? It's the same thing with the hedge fund disclosure vote. And it's the same thing with everything. With all these investigations, it all amounts to nothing. Now, you might say, Ape Father, this sounds like a lot of fun. All right, this is the thing. What has the Ape Father been preaching since day one? Awareness and protesting. Awareness and protesting. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take all of you to realize that's what we need to do. You may never come to that conclusion. You may always come to this conclusion that all you got to do is buy and hold. And you know what? You might get a squeeze. They might throw us a cup. I'm not saying no. They might throw us a crumb. Like, maybe that's why Lou always says, you know what? I don't want to sound like negative, but I always had my suspicions that Lou, listen, this is an allegation, Lou, okay, that he worked for the hedge funds. All right. You want to know why I had my suspicions of that? Because it just seems everything he says, like he wants apes to sell at these low prices, like $500 to $800 a share. He's like, anything above that's like a miracle. Like, oh my God, Okay. So, and then like Lou with all his claims that he's turning down, like, this tremendous, enormous amounts of money from crooked banks, right? From crooked banks that are against retail. So I always had my suspicions with Lou. That's why I called him a con man, because he comes across like he works for the hedge funds. And, maybe Lou's onto something. Maybe Lou knows something we don't. And maybe that's why he's telling everybody to sell at 5 to 800, because maybe that's all they're going to give us. I mean, maybe it's true. Maybe it's true because, see, if this was a fair Wall Street, we wouldn't get 500 to 800. We would get 100,000. We would get 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, $500,000 a share. Because we all know how many fake synthetics are out there. Okay, believe me, it's in the high billions. Tens of billions. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's more. Hundreds of billions. Seriously. They've been doing this for years. I think they've been shorting AMC for like 5 years now straight. Okay. So the synthetics are huge. And just what we know about the short interest. Okay. Like the 20%, the 97 million shares got to be bought back and covered. Listen, that should take us to 1,000 alone. So if you compare if you connect that with the synthetics, we should be somewhere at least $10 to $50,000 a share. Okay, but if we don't fight back, and if we don't let the government know our frustrations, listen, it's like the analogy I always used to give everybody. If you rob a bank, correct? And you get away with it, and the security guard and the cops are waving at you, don't spend all your money in one place. Are you going to rob a bank again? Of course you are. And if you rob a bank a second time and get away with it, are you going to rob it again? Of course you are. And if you rob a bank a third time, and a fourth time, and a fifth time, are you going to keep doing it? Of course you are. That's what's happening right now with the hedge funds. They're getting away with murder. They got a ticket to ride. Nobody is stopping them. So they're going to just keep doing their thing unless we stop them. We have to stop them. We have to protest. We have to bring awareness. And I need your help. I'm going to keep doing it, but I need your help. AMC to Pluto.